What is going on, gangers? Brother Nandi back at your service, and I'm here to dive into a continuing series where we look at fictional characters and what health conditions they may have. If you'd like to stay caught up with this series, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. For part 19 of this series, we are going to dive into a fictional character that people may or may not know, and his name is Courage from Courage the Cowardly Dog. I decided to use anxiety to describe Courage's condition. But first, let's dive into what anxiety actually is. I first want to let y'all know there are different types of anxiety. This may include generalized anxiety disorder, specific phobia, panic disorder, agoraphobia, social anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, separation anxiety, OCD, and selective mutism. For the purpose of this video and to explain courage, we are going to focus directly on generalized anxiety disorder. Generalized anxiety disorder is basically excessive worrying about everyday things. The individual is usually aware that they have anxiety, but it is excessive and they feel like they can't control it. Causes and risk factors would include genetics, gender, meaning twice as likely in females, environmental factors that could include parental divorce, childhood trauma, and or abuse. We can even include stress into that. How does this connect to courage? If you guys can remember, Courage witnessed his parents being kidnapped by a veterinarian, and they were sent to space, and he was helpless to do anything. This could be the main reason why he's always fearful and motivated to protect his new family. Now let's go to signs and symptoms of generalized anxiety disorder. This would include restlessness, difficulty concentrating, insomnia, irritability, muscle tension, fatigue. Now, why does someone like Courage have anxiety? I'm gonna tell you why right now. Courage is frequently worried even when there's no immediate threat. He anticipates danger constantly and is always on high alert. He showcases physical symptoms of anxiety that would include shaking and sweating. He can't calm himself down even when trying to logically assess a situation. Courage loses time, energy, and sleep and well-being due to his constant worrying. He frequently freezes, gets distracted by his fears, and forgets what he is doing. And he's often staying awake through the night to guard his new family, including Marielle. In terms of diagnostics, I'm going to leave the criteria chart down below. But essentially, you have to have excessive worry for at least 6 months. And the excessive worrying has to be correlated with 3 of the symptoms for at least 6 months as well. But pause this if you'd like to see. How does one treat or manage anxiety? We want to first start off with psychotherapy. This would include CBT, relaxation techniques, or coping mechanism. Find out what calms you down the most. This may be different for every individual. I know for myself, I'd like to listen to music with AirPods. I may want to play some video games. Some people may want to take a drive to calm themselves down. It all caters and centers around what you like. Other things could be included as in exercising, and also one should eliminate their stress. This would help to alleviate the anxiety. If these things cannot work, we would resort to medication. Medications such as selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Examples of this would be Zoloft, Lexapro, and Paxil. We also have SNRIs, serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors. Examples of this would be Cymbalta. That's not just it, guys. Another medication by the name of Bursoprone. People generally take this for generalized anxiety disorder because there's fewer side effects. And lastly, we would go to benzodiazepines. The most common one is usually called Xanax. Everyone probably knows that one. But the problem with this med is it's highly addictive. So we want to stay away from this for the most part. So if I'm in Courage's shoes, I'd try to get this family away from this house and move them somewhere else. I feel like the anxiety would alleviate immediately. But if that can't work, let's put them on some meds. As always, if you have any of these conditions, please seek help, because at the end of the day, you matter. Fictional characters were used to give a different perspective in a situation. If you appreciate this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't already, please check out the previous 18 parts to this series. If you have a suggestion for part 20, please drop it in the comments. And if nothing else, y'all take it easy.